Hey, and welcome back to the Vintage Hiker. Today I am at Vogel State Park in Blairsville, Georgia. And actually my wife and I are camping up here for the week in the campground with our travel trailer. But today I am going to hike the 4.3 mile Bear Hair Gap trail that loops outside of the park up into the Chattahoochee National Forest. It's a smaller loop inside of the Coosa Backcountry Trail, skirts up close to the Blood Mountain Trail that goes up to the iconic historic Blood Mountain Shelter on the Appalachian Trail. So we're going to head out today, and I've got one little special stop that I'm going to make in a detour that I think you're not going to want to miss. So join me today on the Vintage Hiker as we hit the Bear Hair Gap Trail, Vogel State Park, Blairsville, Georgia. And I'm actually starting the trail from the campground. And the way I access it from the campground is to come up the Pioneer Camping Trail that's, I think it's a third a mile, half mile, something like that, up to the Pioneer Camping, and then that'll connect me with, it'll connect me with the trail. It's a little bit uphill, so I'm already kind of panning. So I'm trying to decide, am I going to go clockwise, which hits me on the steepest elevation first, or am I going to go counterclockwise, which will allow me to come down the steep area, and it's wet because it rained all night last night. So there's going to be a few slick spots on the trail. I'll decide when I get up here in just a minute. This Pioneer area is pretty cool. You got it's like a covered little gazebo here. I guess a bear box that they've got. I don't know. It looks like it's got locks on it. Let me check this thing out. Yeah, cool little place to put your, store your food, because there's a lot of bears up here at Vogel State Park. We're not too far from Blood Mountain, and Blood Mountain is known. As a matter of fact, you can't even camp at Blood Mountain, a little stretch on the Appalachian Trail, unless you've got a bear canister. So most people bypass that great and historic Blood Mountain shelter in order to not have to carry a bear canister. But this is Vogel State Park, Pioneer Camping. There's your nice little fire ring, and it's got a really nice little, I hadn't been up through here on this part before, so it's pretty cool to see. Got a nice little shelter. And it's only a half mile or so from the parking area, so if you wanted to come up in here, you feel remote. You're in the mountains. I don't know if you can see right up there, there's actually a privy. Nice. Two nice privies. Make sure there's not a bear in there. Sweet. There's one, there's two. I don't think it's men and women's, but I think it's accesses a couple of people. And then a little further up, by the privy, you got another little pavilion with picnic tables and another shelter down there. Got a picnic table beside it. Got a neat little fire ring up here. Good job, Georgia State Parks. So this is the section that takes you into the Blood Mountain Wilderness. I don't know if you can read that sign. Blood Mountain Wilderness, Chattahoochee National Forest. And this actually takes you up, and you can hit a spur trail that'll carry you over to Blood Mountain. But we're going to do this little Bear Hair loop clockwise up the ridge, down the ridge with a great view of the lake. I think they call it Trahlyta. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. Been up here 1,000 times and never have learned how to pronounce it. It is certainly uphill though. Follow the two green blazes. Here is the going clockwise junction between the Coosa Backcountry Trail, which goes that way, and the Bear Hair Trail that goes down that way. Today we're going the Bear Hair Trail the rest of the way. I had read on all trails where there'd been some blowdowns from recent storms. You can see here where trail maintainers have done a good job from previous storms. This must be like, holy cow, like Tornado Alley through here, because look at this. This is fresh. All of that is old, and this is fresh. Okay, a word from a vintage hiker. Don't get suckered into crossing those logs, because they are S-L-I-C-K slick. This has been perfect weather for a hike. It rained from probably, 3 o'clock in the morning to about 9 o'clock this morning. When I started hiking, it was in the kind of mid 50s. The temperatures dropped. I'm down to about 50 degrees now. Of course, I'm at a higher elevation as well, but I think the high last night was at midnight, so it's dropping a little bit today. Well, not a great view of the lake. There it is. You can see we're up in the clouds, but it was a nice hike to get up here, and the good news is it is all downhill from here. And we are home. And it has been a great little hike. I took some detours, went up to the backcountry primitive camping, and got to check that area out, and then hit the Coosa Backcountry Trail, and then followed it back around to the Bear Hair Gap Trail, and then took that up to the top. Got the overview of the lake, a little bit of clouds, but I got to see the lake a little, and then worked my way back around here home. So for the vintage hiker, I think that's about a wrap on this trip. Glad you joined me. Hope to see you next time.